Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Ashanti After Nine. I'm teaming up with my friend J.E. with, go ahead and introduce yourself.
With the young entrepreneurs. Hello guys, my name is Justin Evans from the JE Show, co-founder of the Young Entrepreneurs, and I am so glad to be here with the Ashanti Jordan.
Thank you for coming back. I mean, this is my first stream in a long time. I've been really trying to curate kind of what I want to do and how I want to present myself now. And I'm so happy about today's topic because what better topic to come back to the camera than talking about Black businesses here in Birmingham?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it seems as though it has been a very hot and popular topic.
Definitely.
I don't know necessarily what has caused the itch or the need to just want to say something, maybe not necessarily negative, but something that may not necessarily benefit the subject that it's meant for.
I think it's a very thin line, though. And I do think unintentionally people are crossing over to it being negative. I think it's kind of how it's the chain of command. I think that's always the most important thing, like how you address things. But I think, people don't always have the forethought, right? They just go out and they're posting and they're talking and they're like, dang, I'm getting all this backlash. Or, they're pushing their business and dang, I'm getting all of this feedback that I'm not necessarily in a place where I really want to receive it possibly, or I don't want to receive it in this way. And then the customer is like, I'm not really giving that information. I'm just going to get it out there. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to hear it. It's social media instead of maybe trying to take it a little bit more personal.
Right. I think where that thin line comes in is, and hopefully this is something that we'll cover, a little bit deeper in the show. Will my thought or my opinion, is it something that will cause this person to either lose money or will it dampen their reputation? And like you were saying earlier, that forethought, I don't think that we necessarily put that forethought into it. When we formulate our opinions, for one, it's our opinion, it's how we view it. It's based off of our experience. But then also, we don't necessarily think about the effects that our opinion could have, in its totality. True enough, it is yours. It belongs to you and it's your experience. But the way that we go about things, we don't think about them in their totality as far as, is this the best way to go about it? And I truly believe that there are other ways.
So, okay, give us some ways that's better than social media as to get in touch with a business owner.
That's a good question. I learned from my mama, the great, mom, I'm not going to call you out too much, but my mom was known for this phrase right here. Let me see the manager. She was, my mama was, we just kind of expected it. We just knew my mom is going to ask to see the manager because either the forks aren't clean or, the cup dirty, the plate dirty, the food was cold.
What about if it's takeout though? What if she okay, I didn't went to this restaurant, right? I drove home, opened up my container. And what is this?
So I can testify what I've done.
Okay.
I have ordered waiter many times, and sometimes, the company, they may have forgot my sweet tea, or they didn't include the ranch in the bag, or whatever the case may have been. But what I did was I contacted that corporation. I contacted waiter 4 and 5. I used whatever options they provided as far as customer service. I used those. So the waiter chat line, email, the tech support. I need somebody to make this situation better before I go to Twitter.
Okay.
Before.
Okay.
Because, you can look on my Twitter page. I have gone to Twitter. I've called out Pizza Hut, Domino's, McDonald's, and they've responded. Hey, what is this?
Did you get a free meal?
You get free meals from if you don't get to talk to corporate, you can get something from the actual store. You know, I mean, if it gets all the way there, then, you know, if it's a big enough story, then yeah, you'll get taken care of. But normally I get what I need from the actual store.
See, I'm trying to figure out because I think that's fine and all, right?
Right.
I don't think I've ever gotten so disappointed while I'm a call. Like, but I also haven't like got on social media either. I just be like, oh.
I have. I've gotten upset because what happens is, I think there's a hand in hand, you know, coalition as far as like the expectations and the experiences as far as what the customer is expecting, and then what the business owner puts out there. So when you put out that, hey, we're number one and we provide grade A service, Verizon, T-Mobile, you know, we expect you to be like AT&T, you know, which people would deem as the best. But if you say that you're the best, or that you say that you're going to do this, you know, people, they expect for you to do what it is that you say that you're going to do. In that sense, if I ever feel as though, like at Captain D's, they say, hey, if you order a meal and we don't offer you an extra 6 pieces of shrimp with your meal, you can get it for free.
Wow.
If we don't offer it to you.
They have that?
They have that. Okay. The 6 pieces of shrimp are $1.99. But if the person, I mean, if your cashier doesn't offer it to you with your meal, would you like 6 pieces of shrimp with this combo? I say, hey, my friend, I go up to the window. I don't even say it over there. I say, hey, my friend, you didn't. Hey, now look, according to y'all standards, I should be able to get 6 pieces of shrimp because you didn't ask. You know, if I can't get it right then we have to go to the manager or corporate or social media. But sometimes I feel as though people just go straight to social media.
Yeah, they don't want to heal in silence. They just gotta talk,
social media,
talk it out. And see, I think it's very thin, right? Because when we're in the realm of social media, right? And influencing. And you see those people, hey, I just left such and such in place, and I'm getting ready to eat the food right now on the camera. Oh, I just had a bite of this chicken. It wasn't even done. It's a 0 out of 10. I mean, and they didn't contact, you know, the business owner, which, you know, is kind of the nature of the beast. Like, you're going to have complaints that come in different ways. And I think sometimes they won't be tasteful too. Yeah. But just because it isn't necessarily direct like that, I don't think it should be ignored. I mean, there is a chain of command. I do think you should always go to the manager, right? And you know, with our friend that was talking about Simone's Kitchen on Facebook.
Oh Lord.
You know, you can go ahead and pull his critique, as he would call it, up on the screen. And he was like, y'all really got to stop overhyping stuff. Simone's Kitchen on the East is not it.
Whoa. Can we leave it there for a second? Can we leave it there?
Yeah.
I want to dissect this.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people who said that this statement right here was a legit opinion. It was okay. It was accepted. It was embraced that this right here, this type of behavior is okay. I want to break this down.
Hold on, wait. If you listen in the comments, is this an opinion or is this a criticism? I need somebody to let me know what your opinion is about this.
Or is it hating?
Or is it hating? We got 3 options. Read this. I'm going to read it out again. Tony T. Adams said, y'all really got to stop overhyping stuff. I guess that was supposed to be a period right there. Simone's on the East Side is not it. Period again. Was this a critique? Was this an opinion? Was this a comment? Was this hating? How do you feel about this? Because I saw I read about 300 comments.
Yeah.
And I read kind of mixed reviews, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and get in. You can take it off the screen. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get into what you think about that statement.
Y'all gotta really stop hyping stuff. Y'all.
Who is y'all?
Who is y'all?
I don't know.
Other people who have a valid opinion.
Okay. That's right. You're not lying about that.
Their opinion valid too, right?
Yeah.
You know, so y'all gotta stop overhyping stuff.
Mm-hmm. Who was the y'all?
Is it a problem for us to hype up
something we like?
A black woman,
yeah,
or a black-owned business in our community where they may have tasted good food and they said it was good? You know, is it bad for us to hype up a black woman who had a food truck or had a tent, started off with a tent, then ended up getting a food truck, then ended up getting another food truck, and then one of the food trucks was shown on social media burning down on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And then she's also posted one of those trucks also having several issues to where every time it gets fixed, it just shuts right back down. You know, things that we go through as business owners. And then for her to lose a truck, then open a restaurant
right
around the street. You know, I'm telling her business because I know a little bit more than you guys. Around this, you know, y'all not gonna be able to find her house, but she lives literally right around the street from her business. Her family lives around the street from her business. She went to school around the street from her business. She was living in Atlanta, came back to Birmingham to put a business
I saw that
in her city, in her community. She could have went downtown.
True.
Now, y'all got to stop overhyping that.
I don't see. Let me tell you.
Y'all got to stop overhyping that.
That's true. I did, however, I got the iPad out, y'all. So I did take notes, and
maybe, you know, hopefully I'm not.
See, I don't think his opinion was formulated wrongly, right? I do think the way, Tony, I'm talking to you, friend, I do feel like the way that you went about addressing it is where people are having the issue, right? It's not the opinion that you had. It's a valid opinion. If that was your experience, I saw you talking about the yams, the greens, the fish. You like the cabbage, though. You did like the cabbage. And you talked about other things on the list. I saw you went out on Sunday, and it was a group of 5, right? So we already know Sunday brunch, group of 5. We know already we're gonna have a little bit of a wait. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have a little bit of a wait. He said it was packed, and it was so much going on that he walked in and sat right at his table. No one said, "Hey, how you doing, Tony? Hey, how you doing, sir? Let me find your table. What you in here for? DoorDash or Uber Eats?" Nobody said anything to him. So he came in, got straight to the table. Right, all right.
So it was packed.
It was packed.
I'm assuming that the server,
the
hostess probably had to start serving. I'm just gonna assume. I'm gonna assume. All right, go ahead.
Right, and I'm so glad you said that, right? Because a lot of restaurants right now that we know have been understaffed since COVID, and especially since businesses are losing service because they are better paying jobs. Just being honest, they have more benefits, so we have to take that into account.
DoorDashing and Instacart, and they dashing on jobs because they feel like there are other options they can always just run to, sell plasma and you know, whatever else.
That's it, plasma.
No,
okay, so he did not like his food. Now, just from me accumulating everything that he said about the food, I thought this, Tony, I feel like a lot of your concerns really were with the waitress, right? Because he said that his yams were cold, like they came straight out the refrigerator cold, is what I got on my notes. And it seems as though you really had an issue with the waitress. And so I'm wondering, I mean, I know you decided to pay and tip and do everything, but what made you not want to just say, hey, like your mama said? Where's the manager?
My mama ain't leaving till we see the head chef.
Because he said they waited about an hour or more than an hour after they got drinks for food. And the lemonade was not so great. I mean, he had other criticisms about the food, but I think if, you know, hey, Misty, I know you my waitress. My yams, or what do you call it, sweet potatoes? I don't eat that, but you know, my whatever, it's cold, it's salty, it's undercooked, it's whatever. Can I get somebody to remake this? Or hey, I'm not really enjoying this meal, because I've had meals I didn't enjoy, and I ate maybe a bite, and I was like, hey, I I'll order something else.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to get this at all. And the manager will say, okay, she only took a bite or two out of her meal. Let me just take this off the tab. You know?
Everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'm going to tell you something that Mr. Travis' son told me. It's just what he told me. Went up to his truck one day. Hey, how you doing? You know, hey, how you doing? Hey, just glad to be here. You know, true. May I have this? You know, he said, man, you know what? He said, man, you different. He was like, bro, you can get, like, you one of them people that can get whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what you mean, bro? And he was just like, bro, like you just too nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are gonna draw to your niceness. Like, you can just get whatever you want. And I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. But this is what a business owner told me. The pleasurable experience, something different, a breath of fresh air, compared to somebody who may be coming up maybe to only see if your food is good. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Not to support, only to see if it's good, you know, right. Or if they do need to go and make a post when they get home. Mm-hmm. Sometimes our intentions as customers, intentions, let me make sure I said that word correctly. And I was going to state this earlier. People expect for us to be, and I'm speaking about business owners, we have to be the most professional, go by the book. Before you ever receive a cash app, you need to have read the manual and customer service, mm-hmm. background. You need to found that. You need to have all that
right
before you ever sell anything, and then the customer can just approach you however they want to. Yeah. And so here I am, where people expect for me to remain professional because I'm the leader, mm-hmm. and you have a platform and but everybody else's opinion, no matter what form or how the intent or how it was thrown at you, you just have to be able to accept it and be professional. And I'm like, no, like I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not accepting the fact that I just have to be able to accept the unprofessionalness of the customers as well.
Yeah.
That's not right. Especially when I got business owners out here telling me, as we're exchanging, like, you are the customer, I would love to serve you.
Yeah.
You make this easier for me.
Yeah.
You actually read the menu. You actually know what you want. You actually don't come up here and ask me what y'all got. And the menu is right here. A business owner told me this before he died from cancer. He said, I literally have people come up here, don't read the menu and ask me what I got. He said, I literally just upcharge them because you don't take the time to read.
But see, let me tell you, wait. Because when I go to Mexican restaurants, it's so much on there. I'm just like, hey, can I get a shrimp taco salad? I ain't gonna see if y'all got it. Just can y'all get it for me? It's like too much to read sometimes. And like, I don't think Tony. I don't think his intention was for it to be hurtful. I really don't. As I was reading through his comments, he wasn't like, people were saying, oh, I had great experiences there. Let me tell you, my mom loved that place. Mm-hmm. She had a great experience there. They were, my parents were about to go out last weekend for their date night. She loves Simone's Kitchen. If she wasn't tired from having to go to work, whatever she was doing that day, she would be right up at the kitchen. Shout out to my mom.
Simone is the 2-time top female chef of the year.
I said, she told me that salmon and grits. I got to go down there, girl, and get some. My mama told me.
She's a 2-time top female chef of the year for success in the city.
Yeah.
And what I realized about that is, this is what comes with being at the top.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And part of being at the top is, I know these people, so I know a little bit more than you guys. The amount of chefs mm-hmm. that Simone has had to hire so that she can run this business and mm-hmm. then have somebody in there cooking, because it's hard to do all of them. Run social media, run to a restaurant depot and make sure that we got everything y'all need, so we won't run out of pickles today. Y'all be talking about us like Burger King,
right?
Make sure that the staff person show up to work today, because they don't do that these days. They find other things, but just the things that you have to go through to mm-hmm. be able to call yourself a business owner. Yeah. She's at the top because and this is a very important statement, Ashanti. I look at the vendors that I've worked with, the people who started off with a tent, and this is no offense to them, but there are some people who still have a tent.
Mm-hmm.
The people who taking these hits and these criticisms are the people who are graduating from the tent, trying to take their dream and their vision a little bit bigger. And it's kind of like, this is what comes with it. Like, as we see people rise in the community, if you ain't rising too, part of the time you're gonna be looking up or looking around at the buildings that they got, and like, I wonder how Simone got that building. I thought her truck burned down.
I'm gonna tell you.
Then her truck burned down. How she get a building?
Since all of this has happened, I went and I found a few pages. I just started following. When I seen Simone's Kitchen ATL, I don't even know if that's her, but girl, I followed. Yeah. But I followed her page, and ever since I started seeing so many positive things about her food, and not that I've ever seen anything, you know, in this facet, but I saw reviews. I saw a lot of women saying, hey, what y'all doing today? What y'all doing this weekend? We going to Simone's. We're still going to support. And so even though he had a negative experience, right, I don't think that his experience really impacted people from wanting to go. I really kind of feel like it ricocheted for other people to say, hey, they might have got it wrong with you. You know, because we can't judge his taste buds. Hey, you didn't like the whatever it was. We can't say that you were wrong about it, right? But that may not just be the place for you. And I think that just because he said that, it didn't really discourage me from going. And when I was looking through his comments, I mean, to his avail, I do think
he didn't discourage people not to go. He encouraged people to go and like, hey, you should go by. You know, maybe it wasn't for me, but you know.
And I think the only thing that people had an issue with was just the fact that when you walked out of those restaurant doors, the staff, the managers, the waitress, the cook, everybody thought that you were satisfied, right? You paid your ticket. You actually tipped.
You paid $200?
Yeah, and tipped, you know, and you walked out, and from what I can understand, you know, you didn't bring up any problems with the manager. So they were like, hey, you know, he cool. Let's go wipe down his table and, you know, get ready to go. Hey, little Missy, did he say something? No, he didn't say anything. He paid his thing. I got a tip too. I got $20. And she was happy. Everybody seemed like it just wasn't a full picture. So I think, you know, in the future, if you decide to share again, because I know you say you only post your kids and your family and whatever business that you own, I should have did a deep dive to figure that out, but I was too busy on the live. I hope that next time, just say something to the manager. They might give you a comp meal. They may say, hey, you can ask the waitress, oh, you know, I know you don't like such and such, but if you want to replace it with this, I really like this. This is a fan favorite. Everybody comes here to get that. I think it was just the fact that you didn't allow the business to reconcile anything that you had grievances with. I think that's where the problem lied.
I want to say this, Ashanti. Just piggying back off of, you know, us being experienced consumers, you know, we're so experienced and experts that we feel as though our opinion is very valid. So we can go on social media and we can post it. But then part of my behavior as a consumer is that when I go to different businesses, I may ask questions because I've either saw advertisements or I've heard of other businesses doing this for their customer. So I may come in, let's just say I may call, you know, Wells Fargo or Spectrum. You know, I say, hey, Spectrum, I'm very upset with my service and what's been going on with me. You know, this and this and this and this has gone on. I'm like, well, hey, I'm sorry, sir. Like, there's not anything that we're going to be able to do today. So then I say, hey, okay, I've had to call other people before. When I call Wells Fargo, they normally will send me to a manager or a resource manager, or they'll transfer my call to somebody that can help with my problem. And so you know, us being experienced, we need to ask these questions. You know, like we're so expert that we can give our opinion on how the food tastes and how business owners should operate. But it's like we don't act professional in our whole totality. You get what I'm saying? There are certain steps and stages that you can go through before going on social media and causing somebody to possibly lose money,
Mm-hmm.
or possibly their employees to lose money, or possibly their building to maybe one day shut down because people are driving by and they're questioning if they want to go.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Go
and I just
ahead.
want you to be real,
Go
real,
ahead.
real.
Go ahead. Go
Now,
ahead.
we're going to take Simone out of it because she is a great entrepreneur, a great chef, a great business owner, and is excelling in her personal life. I'm not going to put that on here, but I was doing a deep dive, girl. And congratulations. If he would have had that same statement, and it was Joe's hot dog down the street, if he would have had a video that went with it, would it have made what he said more valid?
That's a good question. And it's a thin line too.
Yeah.
It's a very thin line. I realize that there have been times where I have attacked celebrities and people with bigger platforms than me. Their platforms are normally open for criticism, like a Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, he'll write back to you.
I know he's fake pages.
Oh yeah, he make fake pages, but some people they're about that.
Yeah.
I've been in debates with Talib Kweli because I called him out one day. I said, hey, you don't hear dogging out Kanye, but Kanye mentioning you, I told him, I said, Kanye mentioning you got more views than any of your podcasts ever had. That's how me and him got to arguing. So you can find me arguing with people, as we stated earlier. If you state that you're the best, if you say that you're the best, if you put a target on your back, there will be people who, they ain't necessarily trying to take you down, but if that's a part of what you do, like this segment here, make it make sense.
Right.
We're asking you to come in the comments and call to make it make sense. I'm asking you to call and criticize my statements and things like that. But there are times where people are being attacked and they're not calling for it. It's also not called for.
Right.
I don't want to sound racist when I say this, but I do want to sound for my race when I say this. Can we put up this graphic?
Sure, yeah.
Now you ask me this, you say,
and after this, let's look at some comments too. After this,
what's the difference between him dogging out Simone or just bringing attention that didn't earn them money toward Simone's, or what's the difference between people telling people to not go to 88?
Yeah.
Put the other one on screen for me, please, brother. The other one, the facts. Let's put the facts on stage. What I truly believe is that, yes, your opinion is your opinion. But when we look at the facts, is your opinion helping to push this fact here? Now, some people will say, because there's a thin line, my opinion, y'all feel like we should only just praise and hype up businesses, and that they are, that we should omit our criticisms, and that just because it's a black business that they shouldn't be talked about, and no, that's not right. Everybody is subject to an opinion and to criticism.
Yeah.
But my only thing is, before you get ready to make that post, have this thought right here in mind. I don't know how important it is to the community, but what I do know is that buildings are being shut down. Bosses are being turned back into employees. There are several things that are going on in our community that help play into this factor. And so, yes, your opinion is your opinion, but is your opinion helping to go into this narrative here?
I mean, to be honest, you really should have highlighted the Jewish community, because say one thing about the Jewish community and you will never return back. Shout out to Candace Owens. I mean,
that's real.
She had some anti-Semitic, you can take that down too. She had some anti-Semitic comments to make, and she got kicked out of the Daily Wire. Go to some comments and pull them up on the screen.
Do you see the white people on social media dogging out their businesses, grouping together and saying, "Oh yeah, about time." Now listen, Ashanti, I do see, and I'm gonna tell you about this because
they did Target.
Watch this.
Okay.
This is what happens.
Okay.
and I may be wrong, but I'm just speaking on what I think I know. White people, they support each other. It's one of those things where they don't think about it. They don't have to make a decision. It's more of like this is like what we do. I mean, all we have to do is just look at the facts and how long their dollar circulates in the community.
Yeah. Can you roll the TV a little closer? I know it's kind of crazy. Can you roll it closer so we can read the comments? Everybody.
The only thing I was gonna say is that I was just gonna say that I feel as though when you find a white business in the community that scams, like a brokerage or a lawyer or an insurance person, they don't take that very likely. Like you're gonna get outed, you're gonna get criticized.
Who's scamming?
That I mean, white people commit fraud, big fraud all the time. You know, nonprofit schemes and all type things. So when they do stuff like that, it be on a big scale. Then they get dogged out and y'all been taking money and moving money in Swiss accounts and stuff like that. Cool, we can't have it in our community. That's a
federal. They really handle that on a hush hush because it's usually federal.
That part, black people, we gonna tear your business down because the greens was too salty.
That's not funny.
It's not funny, but when we pull up the stats and we look at how long the dollar circulates, I'm not stopping by there because her greens was too salty, you know. And
I mean,
it's a thin line, but.
Okay, everybody's taste buds aren't the same. Facebook isn't validation. You have to try for yourself, and you're free to give your opinion. I agree with you, Hillary. I just think it's a thin line between giving your opinion and it being criticism or a critique. I think with this gentleman, and just to transition off of him, but I think with him, I don't think that his opinion was wrong. I think it was just how it came to the public. That's all I think. If he would have said, hey, I went and I did speak to the manager, I did talk to the waitress, I did whatever, and they said, oh, we don't too much care about your opinion, we getting ready to go on to the next, and then you came on social media and shared it, I feel like that's a whole story, right? And it could be, you gave the business opportunity to correct it. They said, hey, I don't care, and then
what about they didn't. Just saying y'all be overhyping food up. Some of these businesses that y'all be promoting ain't hidden. Like why?
You know they gonna say who.
So the thing, and what I'm saying is, I look at people and they're saying, you know, it's a popularity contest. You know, if y'all didn't know her, it wouldn't matter. And it's like, well, what did I talk about? Like these are one of these people who are climbing to become a pillar within the community. Like everything that you do, from her proposal to the businesses, the ups, the downs,
and it was on
all
her
of
birthday.
All of it is questioned. It's all questioned. You know, your life almost becomes, you know, folks just want to know, you know, what's going on. I mean, they want to know what's going on with you, Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just
look. Someone said they want to call in. Go ahead and put the number up. If you want to call in, like you can. We're gonna have a quick little segment for you to call in, and then we're gonna move to something a little different. You can put the number up on the screen. Of course, I think that's my friend. You can call me on my number. But if you want to call into the show, go ahead. Can you see the headphones, please? Thank you.
It's a thin line.
It really is. So, and I saw Hillary make a comment about the Google reviews. I do think that it also is another place that you can share your grievances online without, and it's like directly to the business. Because can't they respond back to Google reviews?
I don't know, but the thing is, you know, John said they can.
Okay.
And you actually have to contact the person to get them to delete it. So this is one of those things where it's like your team would actually have to reach out to them and see what can we do to get you to delete this. And she's been through that before, and I know others have as well.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, hey, this was the professional way to do it. Now we got to contact you to figure out.
Yeah.
Now, if you got 1,000 bad reviews, it's gonna be hard to make everybody happy.
Well,
but those 1 or 2, hey, can we invite you in and give you a free 10-piece, and your drinks are on us? Like, what can we do? What can we do to make this matter better? But if you never have that conversation, Ashanti, I have a group chat, my family chat.
We got a call coming in.
Oh, cool.
Okay, hello. Uh-oh. Hold on, I know you calling. Hello.
In?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now, I mean, excuse my language. I didn't made it in. I'm just calling this number. This phone must have been ringing off the line.
Please.
That I got in. Oh man! But I'm gonna tell you, I gotta look amazing tonight. I'm a big, huge fan of the show. But yeah, y'all topic is a great topic tonight. Yeah, can we cut something? I don't want it to be different.
Yeah, go ahead, but look, don't do too much. But say what you got to say.
Okay, so when we talk about, I ain't gonna cuss. I'm not gonna cuss. So when we talk about people, especially like black people, and their critique of criticism or quote unquote hate, I remember a time when I was younger, niggas was scared to go to school because they didn't want to leave their hood. And as soon as they got 5 minutes outside of their hood, they didn't know what was going on. And these the same niggas now that they grew up and then went to 2 different restaurants other than McDonald's and Burger King trying to give critiques about food. These are the same people that are like, oh, I can't go to food. I can't go to food. The police gonna mess with me. They gonna jam me up. And they ain't never even been to food. Like this is what I remember back in the day when niggas was there. You know you can't go over there. But now y'all can critique people food. And let's be real, we talk about like on the flip side, and we talk about like Simone, because I think that's what y'all mentioned too. Sometimes we bring on a little bit of the hate too, because some of these people we do know in the community, and you know, you like they said, you got to keep your nose clean if you're going to be in business around here, especially in a city that's big as Birmingham, but it's small as Birmingham as well. So if you're doing a little shiesty, and I ain't talking about on the business tip, but if we want to get into it, Simone was out here fucking somebody's husband.
Oh my God.
And the girl's daddy, she was fucking, I used to date the girl. So that's why I know about the whole situation. So when we talk about a lot of the stuff that's going on with her, a lot of it is like warranted hate. Because like, sometimes you got to clean.
All right, Carla, we don't even went way left, so we're going to have to, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Hey, before I cut you off, bro, I just want to say, man, that you did wrong, you know, for bringing up her, you know, I mean, we trying to do positive things, and I think the platform in this show was intended for that, and so it's kind of like you started off on a positive note, but then you ended off on like a crash out kind of, and so King, King, I just wanted to uplift you.
It's not necessarily a crash out. It's got to be, if you're going to have a conversation, it got to be a well-rounded conversation. So it got to be the whole thing. Like, we got to, like, the thing is, black businesses are held to a higher standard when it comes to us as a community. But at the same time, you got to make sure that your nose clean. Because the reason I say that, Ray Rice don't punch his girlfriend in the face and get kicked off the team.
Oh.
Because you represent something. Same thing, like I said, if you out here, you say you business, a lot of us know you from school. A lot of us know how you move. So when you talk about having a business and being in the community and all of this stuff, everything got to be on the up and up. Your Facebook got to be on the up and up. So when we talk about black businesses, a lot of people want to move in a certain type of way that they don't have the form all the way through.
And King, this is what I'm saying. The only thing I'm saying, I totally agree with everything you said, but as we're kind of discussing the opinion of the guy who made the post today, your statement was kind of missing some decorum. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you an example. I said that Buddy's post would have been nice if he just would have left Simone's name out of it. I believe that your statement would have been nice if you would have brought up just making sure that we keep our nose clean, but not bringing up a personal situation, you know, on this show, because our goal is to it's not just to hype anybody up, just to hype them up, but we're talking about a 2-time female chef of the year. You know, like, how much hating are we going to do? Or, you know, how much digging or how much research? You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I understand what's out there and what's been done. I understand that we all got to blow our nose. But for me and you and for Ashanti and this platform, I believe that we have to have a little bit more decorum in our opinion. and kind of making general statements instead of saying what you said. And like I said, King, I'm trying to help you out in the same sense. Like I don't want to crash out or dog you out or get upset about what you said, but I want to make this a teaching moment. Like, hey, you made a great statement, but just try to leave out the
crash out.
What actually happened, and just say blow your nose. That's all, brother. That's all, King.
Thank you.
What you said. I totally agree with you, and about what you said. But at the same time, it's like it got to be out there on why certain things come.
Why is it that you have to put it? Why is it that you have to put it out there?
Oh, I don't have to put it out there, but it's out there. It's the same thing when people say, "Well, why are you in my business?" Well, it's the internet in your business. When it makes the internet, that's everybody's business. Like if you was moving in a certain type of way, if you was moving the street, I couldn't talk about it if it wasn't out there. So when it makes the internet, when it makes the rounds through the city because you're not moving, like I said, keeping your nose clean, that becomes everybody's business. So that's why I say when people say, "Step my business," well, keep the business out the street. That's how
I totally understand this, and bro, this is the last thing I'm gonna tell you because we gotta pull in our next caller. This is the only thing I'm gonna tell you, bro, and I pray that this is some wisdom that blesses your life. True enough, Simone's business is out there, and whomever else's, mine and whatever. But I'm gonna tell you this: one rule I live by is you won't hear this person's business from me. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you why. I got things that I have to look in the mirror in the morning and that I have to hope that the Most High or hope that, it don't come out of the closet and y'all found out one day. And so what I do personally is I try to make sure that I'm not putting out the energy to attack other people or to bring negative attention toward them, because the same thing can be done to me. And that may not necessarily be important to you, but I'm gonna just tell you, brother, like my daddy used to tell me, just wait your day. You get what I'm saying? Hey, take it how you want to, but I like to uninclude myself from talking down, bashing. It's people out here, I will not walk or step foot in their business, but you won't know on my social media page. You're going to find out in my group chat. And then you're not going to hear me calling in on no platform to be messy and telling folks, folks' business. We're going to do that in the locker room, like Donald Trump said. There's locker room talk. So try to have some locker room talk and some decorum about our Black businesses, and especially about situations that we don't need the air, King. Like I said, I respect everything you said except for that one statement. And we got to get ready to go, King.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. We will talk to you next time.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. All right. So
Ashanti, are all the callers like that?
I'm confused. Just like what Mercedes said. Oh my, that sounded personal. And not like Bill. I don't know.
He did say that he used to date. So did Ashanti, this brings up, and I want to turn this over to you. This brings up part of, my passion toward this.
Okay.
What was your intention when you make this post?
Yeah.
Like, what was your intention when you make that statement about her? Like, was it like what was the intention? Like, did you have to say it? And folks, like, I just had to say it. And so when Mark asked us what's on our mind on Facebook,
some people take it literal, apparently.
Do you have to say exactly what's on your mind?
Yeah. Sometimes
what's on our mind is flawed. It may be wrong. It may be negative. Do you have to say it? Do you have to? And some of us, we just feel that we just gotta say it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that part.
In light of that, I do agree. I have no pushback. Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't like I've said before, I don't feel like his opinion was bad. I think it was just how it was brought to our attention.
I agree.
But if his opinion being presented like that had a ricochet of what we just heard, the opinion should have never been stated at all. But in other news,
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Because we controversial, right?
Okay, go ahead.
I haven't posted this, but I want to say it to you. Why is it that it's okay for us to dog out Simone and the owners of Hush and 88.
And see, I want to get into the owners of Hush and 88 because I'm not familiar.
I see people bashing, other giants in the community. Smart Tax, they got 5-6 buildings in the community. Just come with it. Why is it that it was cool to bash them, but it wasn't cool to question what happened, with Pastor Mike in the situation, with that?
Well, they did.
People did, but there were a lot of people who felt like that it wasn't my opinion is my opinion on that day. But yesterday, it was my opinion is my opinion. When Pastor Mike, whatever transition on stage, at their service, there was a sense of defense. Like, hey, you don't come for him.
Right.
Don't do that. You're going to go to hell for speaking against his ministry. But when you speak against somebody else's business, no, it's totally fine.
Well,
like,
honestly,
where's that thin line?
I think when it comes to those two examples, right, it's easy to disrespect a Black woman.
Oh, Jesus.
It's very easy to. We're getting called, out of our names.
Oh, Jesus.
Possibly being put in scenarios. I'm not familiar with what that scenario is. That may not even be true. You know what I mean? About being unfaithful or being with somebody's husband or being sleeping around or doing anything like that. It's easy to place us somewhere else because people don't feel like Black women have value. Outside of holding you down while you're in jail or prison, bailing you out of jail or prison. Don't call the police when you breaking the law, beating us up and doing all those kind of things. That's where our value lands, right? You see, Love at the Lockup. I seen a young lady with some stilettos on in a dress, ready to go hunch her man as soon as he came through the gates. Right? That's images that are shown of Black women, not necessarily. I can't think of any chefs that I know that are Black women that are on TV. And it could be a space that I'm just not familiar with too.
Right.
But when I think about chefs, I'm thinking about white men, Gordon Ramsay.
I know one that broke through during COVID. For some reason I can't remember her name.
Teeny?
I can't remember it.
Little blonde girl?
No,
Skinny?
this is a dark skinned one.
Oh, okay. And then you have Kimmy's Kimmy, is it Kimmy's Creation or something? She got pregnant. She's a little short lady, and she's cooking in.
It might be
her.
But yeah, we got some that broke through.
But you don't have like examples, right? And then with Pastor Mike, he's covenant with not only being a man, but also having some, being in a spiritual space. Like Christian. So of course you're not gonna publicly attack God. I mean, some people do, but then they're gonna either call you a Satanist or give you all of these names and saying that you are, tear down a Black church. Which
let's just get down to it. The church is a staple in the community. Okay, they got 5 of them on every block, in each city. But then we also need the businesses too. Like, we need the businesses and we need the community centers. We need all of those, the parks. All of these things work together to help our community move forward. You go to church so that you can get your spiritual balance. The church is supposed to help out the people when they can. You get what I'm saying? The businesses in the community that the people run to and they spend their money, there's a certain way that they can help out as well. We can't sponsor everything that y'all ask us to do. But there are ways that as a business owner, you should show appreciation to your community.
Right.
But we can't have one without the other. You got to have the parks and the community centers and the daycares and after school cares for the children and the next generation that's coming up. We need church and Sunday school and Bible study and vacation Bible school so that we can keep people, sane and civilized so that they can do what they do. And then we also need our businesses. We need them. It sucks to drive by and see these places that were once open closed down.
Definitely.
And you need to tell you something about Tony T. Adams.
What's that?
Nothing bad.
Oh, okay.
Because I
was about to say we can't take no more bad news.
No, I know Tony T. I went to school with Tony T. I'm one of them people where, I'm just letting y'all know you can hear it here on this show. You talk about me and my business, which is fine because it's open to criticism. We rising and it's gonna be like that. Just understand When I click on your picture and I see who is commenting, you can't be upset at what I say back. I'm just being honest. If you taste my food and it's salty, but I see you come in and you happen to be overweight, my first thought may be, man, look at this overweight, not married, 3 to 4 children, no edges. Oh, hold on. Who is this? I don't even know who this. Who is
he
this?
don't got
Baby,
no edges.
She ain't even got. She don't even have no edges, but she found the time to talk about my business today. Man, this is crazy.
Oh no.
I know I need to do better. But golly, is it something that she must didn't look in the mirror this morning? I'm that type of business owner. I'm sorry. I'm very nice and professional. If people ask, am I something? I'm about one of the most professional you can be. I don't even cuss on camera. You don't even have to pay me and train me. It's just, I'm just not gonna do it because I'm professional. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, make sure you have your edge, make sure your children know how to read, make sure that your mama got all her hair, make sure before you find time to come on social media and try to take money away from my business. Because that's what the intent is.
Yeah, that's true. Let's look at a few comments before we go on to passing by these businesses that are closed down and just break my heart, child. I swear to God. All right. Hillary said, if you take time to build and nurture your community, there will be people who have your back. Don't close the door, it'll lock.
That's right.
Go down to the last comment with Mercedes. We have a bad experience with Walmart, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, but yet we go back to give them one more chance. We have to do the same and give people grace. You know, I do think you are absolutely correct. We do have negative experiences with these companies, and we definitely continue to go back. I mean, how many times are we going to complain? Number one, that Walmart only has half a lane open. They have 25 self-checkout lanes, and only one of them works, and it only takes cars. They're doing no cash. The line is out the back. They don't have anything stocked. It looks like everything's been touched, ran through, and slobbed on by everybody's bad children. Kids running around, people getting beat up outside. It's crazy stuff going on at Walmart, but we keep going back. And I think we need to give grace to these businesses too. I've been to a few places and I didn't really like the food. All I did was just order something different if I went back, or I just didn't go back. But I didn't feel the need to just, you know.
I have a group chat. I was mentioning this earlier with my family, where we discuss where restaurants we don't like. And the thing is, we're very adamant and supportive about, like intentional about going out and supporting, different food trucks and different businesses, And instead of going on social media and saying that it's trash, we just discuss it in our group. And then we don't go there and shop anymore. Mm-hmm. So when people ask us, they say, hey, like, Justin, where do you think I should go on Sunday?
Yeah. You know what not
to name? You think I should go to such and such? No. And the thing is, because people trust your opinion and they know that you wouldn't tell them no because you support and you be within the community, they take your word for it. Like, hey, I thought they were doing good. What's wrong with it? Hey, look.
What's that? Seven's comment, the most unprotected? The Black woman, yeah, definitely so. A quote by Malcolm X.
Can we replay Mercedes comment at the top and then Kiara's? I just wanted to see Mercedes right at the top. No, one more. Keep going.
Responses.
Yeah. Read this.
Okay. Responses to everything is what makes. Well, I'm sorry. Responses to everything is what matters as an entrepreneur.
Ashanti, we don't often get the training and the customer service foundation that we need as business owners. And so, for an example, I'll tell you, we won't just keep using Simone. I did say
let's move past her.
I've talked to the owners of 88.
Okay.
I talked to the owners. I talked to a lot of owners, but I talked to them the other day. And their response to what has gone on in the city is simply they're like, hey, it's totally okay. We know who we are. We know what our goals are, what our vision is, and what our intentions are. and that we can't control all of the talk, that's going on in the community. Only thing that we can control is what we can control.
Right.
We can take care of us. We can make sure that we look out for our employees, even when our doors ain't open. Like, only thing that we can focus on is what we focus on. And that's what I got from them. It was just like, hey, we have to continue pouring into what we have. You get what I'm saying? And those who know us and appreciate our business, they're going to continue coming into our establishments.
Mm-hmm. So what is your opinion about it shutting down? Like, how do you feel about seeing that? I don't know if they would call it a club or a lounge. I think it's a lounge. How do you feel about it shutting down?
So it didn't shut down. Let me say that.
Okay.
Hey, I told you I got some inside info, girl. Hey, you dealing with somebody that know a little something. It didn't shut down. Mm-hmm. They closed it down.
Okay.
And you heard that from me.
Okay.
I made a statement on my page. I said that the reason that they closed it down, I said that the city did have a contribution to it. Mm-hmm. Because what happened was, when the shootings happened outside of Hush, you had people with not the best comprehension skills, not the best insight and common sense, who were blaming the owners that the shooting happened. Mm-hmm. And so they were using their page, not platform, to spread false information. And it caused a bad reputation on the establishment. The shooting happened on the street, but there were also people who decided to chime in during that time of the shooting and the violence to say, hey, don't support the owners as well. They need to shut all their businesses down. And it was kind of like,
right. And when I was reading that,
and people say their opinion matters.
Mm-hmm. So when I was reading that, people saying they should shut their businesses down, they said that it attracted the wrong crowd, right? However, just looking at the articles and just taking a synopsis of what happened, that person that came to commit that crime didn't travel there to patronize the business. Right. So saying that it breeds the wrong crowd or it brings the wrong crowd, it didn't. I mean, the only crime, if they did commit one, was having a line outside the door, which all businesses have. You can ride past Cheesecake Factory and see people standing outside waiting on a table. I mean, it's just common practice for people they're doing their security. They're checking to make sure that people are on the inside of the establishment are safe. I mean, are they supposed to patrol the streets? Like, it just goes to a certain extent. I think what happened was definitely a tragedy. I do not think it was avoidable, though. I don't think that they could have done anything else that night.
The owners.
Yes, yeah. The owners. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think the owners could have done anything else that night to stop what happened from happening. It was going to happen regardless, because that person had free will and they decided to get up out of their bed or whatever they were doing to go down and cause a whole scene for people to experience loss in an extreme way and also trauma.
This is an example of customers having to be better customers. I know a guy that happened to be with the target of the shooting the night before he died. And the information that was given to me was he knew and was aware that he had money on his head. That's a bounty for those of you who don't know. But he had money on his head. He was aware of it. Us as customers telling people that we're going to be at a location at a certain time and that we're going to have a section and that all of our friends are going to be there. We get on social media sometimes and just post away what we're going to do and our plans, and we tell everybody where we're going to go. And the shooter decided to pull up where the person said they were going to go, and he took care of them. But that's the other side that people don't talk about on social media. We're out here dogging out a business owner, but we don't look at the steps that were taken before this violence happened. About this man, maybe all on Snapchat, possibly talking noise or boasting about his position and his nature,
Okay.
how he may feel safe and untouched and unbothered, and that he's gonna be at Hush tonight, and that I don't care who coming, y'all can come see me because we gonna be there. But Hush is my place of business where I come in and sweep every day. So as a business owner, it's just tough.
Yeah, I wasn't
to be able to
privy
control.
To those things.
They like, well, maybe you should know all of the people who are buying sections, and it's like I didn't know I had to do research and profile
private
searches.
Investigate.
But that's what they're expecting us to do. There's no expectation on the customer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they can come in and stand on your couches and Rick James your couch, and it'd be no problem. But you, when you come over there to talk to them, you better not cuss or yell. You better have the best decorum and professionality. That's not even a word, but I'm just using it. You better have it.
I did. I have been there a few times, and I mean, I've enjoyed myself. Hush was always a nice environment to go to. I feel like it was a tragedy to see this place close and not be shut down, but close, just because it was an outlet for people to go out and commune with their peers in a controlled, safe environment. And now that those people have migrated to 88, now people have a lot of commentary to say how they don't want the YNs there, and it's packed out like a club. And it's like, where do you want these people to go? It's not a crime to want to go out and have fun with your friends, right? And 88 hosts an environment that those people want to go to and patronize. I mean, they could say they're going to go to Nana Funk's. That's taking away that dollar circulating back into our community, right? And so it was a tragedy to see it shut down, to see it close. I feel like those, I really, YN is funny to use sometimes, but it really is a bad label, you know, now that you really think about it in totality, because some of those people are not even YNs, they're just young people that want to go out and have fun. Who was 21, 22, and doesn't want to go out and have fun with their friends, smoking hookah in a section. I mean, people do that all the time.
I think all of us have gotten too drunk before, you know, and so you have violent people, and then you have too drunk, I'm just having too much fun. You know, people do that as adults.
Yeah.
You know, but they prefer to do it where they feel more comfortable, or like, oh, the sound on the door said 30 and up. And so, you know, I should expect classiness when I come in here. When I go to Miami, I literally see grown 40, 50-year-old women, you know, being carried out. And it's normally a Latino. It's normally Latino. They have on leather pants too. But come in having a good time, but then leave out getting carried out. And it's like, you know, some things are human behavior. We all have fun a little bit different ways, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as the judgment that comes with it, it's kind of like, hey, you did that before. And then you also go out and do your thing too. I want to ask you a question. Ashanti, what do you believe is the thin line that gets broken, you know, between criticism and, you know, actual opinion?
It's the delivery.
Delivery.
I think it's the delivery. And when I say delivery, that's even how it's worded too.
Right.
Right. Because I can say, that wasn't my favorite. Oh, that's nasty as F.
Right.
They still mean the same thing. The impact lands so differently.
Right.
Right. And so sometimes when you do have those criticisms or critiques, you want it to always be palatable, because that's when you're going to see results. If I come to you and I'm offending you, you won't be able to hear what I'm saying, because you're trying to cut through the meat of how I'm telling it to you.
Right.
And I think that's where the thin line, that's where it kind of gets misconstrued, right? And sometimes as a person talking, the intention may not always be the most important thing when it doesn't land where you need it to land.
Right.
So you may have had the best intention to say, hey, you know, I just want to share my opinion about this experience that I had, or I went to this lounge and I didn't really like it. It is how you translate or deliver that message where it kind of gets lost in translation, you know? Agree. And so and it's the forethought too. We just live in a day and age. I mean, I can open up my phone right now and record a video and post it in 2 seconds.
What's on your mind?
Right. And I don't have the forethought to be like, where could this go? You know, where could this go? This is a small part of my life. Like that gentleman, it was a small 2 seconds of his life.
Now watch this. I think that was the biggest moment of his life though.
Well, he did say that he doesn't get other attention on his other posts. He did say that. Yeah.
You don't. And so that was something that I thought about yesterday. Think about, I want to, let me go on social media. I want to read.
Okay.
I want to read my post that I made yesterday because it was. You was
talking about somebody?
No, I wasn't talking about nobody.
Oh, okay.
But it's just more on the fact of is what you doing, is it for the benefit, of our people?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if it was that deep, there's a way to solve a problem. If I could go somewhere and the service is terrible, I would ask for a refund, a manager, or a voucher. I said something before I ran to social media and make a post for others to hee and ha and possibly cause others to not go there as well. And so when we make our statements like that, it's like, are you making something where it's like going to be a part of the problem that's in our community, or are you making something that's going to help it? And so I saw a lot of people who gave feedback saying that negative feedback is good sometimes because it helps us improve to possibly be able to help keep the doors open, as well. Sometimes you need to hear that, the grease is old, but it's about how it was put out there, Like how.
But I will say this though, like what you just said, negative opinions do help the business grow, right?
It's a possibility.
I think a lot of times the negative experience that people could share in that way when it isn't received well from the community is going to boost sales. I would be very interested to see what this weekend looks like because I saw nothing but people saying they're getting ready to go there on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so I think this controversy could turn out to sometimes be a blessing because people are like, dang, you didn't handle that right. And because you didn't handle it right, you didn't give them an opportunity to correct it. I'm going to go in and see if, even if she took anything that he said into consideration, when I go, I'm going to make sure I have a good time or a good experience. I'm going to go and support regardless of what it says. And like one question I always do have, if someone had a negative opinion about a restaurant or a lounge or anything, how valid is that opinion? How does it resonate with you? Like, would it steer you to go or not go? Because for me, if it's someone I don't know, I'm still going to go. I mean, it has to be an overwhelming situation that has catastrophic.
So,
like, oh my God, they gave you a raw piece of fish. They didn't even cook it.
Opinion, experience, and reality. Your opinion is your opinion. The food was nasty. Oh, okay, cool. Experience, my food was given to me cold. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, that could be corrected.
It's a little bit different. So I just ask, is my opinion, is it worth me posting? For one, is it going to cause me or cause money to be lost for this establishment? The thing is, we don't care. Like, we don't care about nobody but ourselves. So the forethought and the thought of, is my opinion going to cause her cook to not be able to pay daycare this week? We don't care about that. It's my opinion, it's my thought.
Well, people lack critical thinking skills. I mean, let's just be real about it. And they lack critical thinking skills. They didn't have it as a child.
They didn't have it in high
grown
school.
People. Y'all know it is a people that's walking amongst us that needed extra assistance. That may not be able to go outside alone, and they have access to social media. So like that's why I say, like, if someone gives an opinion, how influential is it for you to be like, dang, I'm finna absolutely adopt that. I gotta listen to exactly what they say. Cause I'm like, man, this person might be a little bit,
I can see that. I want to ask you a question. I was talking to a pastry chef and, we were talking about opinions. And so she told me that if someone tasted her cake and was like, the cake was nasty, she's like, well, hey, that's their opinion. That's their opinion. That's their opinion. And I'm like, okay. But I'm like, I don't even know about the fondue and the different creams and the layers, and like, I'm not a cake expert.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have the words to be able to tell you or be able to describe like how good it really is or how bad. All I can say is it's good or it's bad. Oh, it tastes good. Oh man, it was real good. It was warm, it was moist, and it was soft.
Mm-hmm.
But cake experts can really break down, and so I was trying to get her to understand. I'm like, do you just accept the opinions of anybody? Because I don't.
Yeah.
You know, you got people who, and this is no offense at all, but it's a job and people are going to the job. You have people who are failing at Dollar General warehouse. Failing. You know, you're not in the top 20 percentile of the 300 people that you work with, you know, on your floor, on your shift.
Mm-hmm.
They probably got 3 shifts. And you're not even in the top nothing. You don't know about my field and what I do. You get what I'm saying? Like, you see it, you able to like say something on it, but as far as being an expert to where I should really embrace your opinion, you like, does the average person know how to come in here and do this setup like you just did?
Nah, because I can't even do it. Just be real.
I'm just saying. So as far as, you know, I always teach people to, even if you listening to me out there, I don't know everything in the world. Take everything I say with a filter. Take the good and leave out the bad.
Absolutely.
But just understand, if you don't know nothing about my expertise in my field, your opinion probably won't be embraced that much. Like, I appreciate you for taking out your time, but please go back home and focus on yourself, you know? And then, like I said, I'm going to take the good
with the bad.
With the bad. Hopefully your intent wasn't to cause me to lose money or cause people not to shop with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you have a genuine opinion or criticism, you know, we have to be human enough to be able to accept the good.
Yeah.
But Ashanti, be careful to not accept the labels that people put on you. Just because they got eyes and they got breath. And
yeah,
Ashanti, you got the best podcast in the world.
Meanwhile, it's my first episode in 8 months.
Some people I'd be like, okay. And then, you know, folks where it's like, Justin, you got the worst podcast in the world. And I'm going to turn this back over to you. One thing I always say, Ashanti, I can't let people take me too high or too low.
Mm-hmm.
So a man thinketh, so is he. That's in Proverbs.
Amen.
And it's tough for us to be out here. Like, you have to be able to look in the mirror and know, like, hey, I have to improve as a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I do need to work on that. But then also you have to be able to look in yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I know who I am, and I'm not going to allow people to be able to tear me down to where I forget who I am and what my vision is.
Yeah.
Straight up.
All right. Well, I do want to ask you this to close out.
Go ahead.
If you have any advice to customers out there about how to address their concerns, we know don't do what Tony did. Okay.
No.
If you have any advice, top one thing they could do to change their criticism to be a critique of a business, what would it be?
Man, I honestly believe that taking time to, like you say, put forethought into it as far as what is the intent, you know, of my post. And speaking from experience, if you take time to make a negative, you know, impactful comment or regard toward me, you know, I may be willing to talk to you about it. You know, we may be willing to engage about it, but there's a more professional way to handle things. Mm-hmm. If you can handle things in a professional way, I can handle things in a professional way as well. I'm already trying my best to handle things in a professional way. You know, but if you can do a little bit better, you know, on your part, I just feel like us as customers, we have to have some type of rubric or example of how we expect to be. How can you make this experience better as a customer? Try to have more compassion and think about possibly what the business owner may go through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm somebody that is meeting with different business owners every day. So why I have the compassion and why do I support them and why do I stand up for them? Because I hear stories and things that people don't know. Like, hey, Justin, my sales are down 40% from last year. Or Justin, we on the brinks of closing. Somebody just asked me to come do a review 2 weeks ago. Today they announced that the store is closing.
Oh, dang.
Sucks, because I wasn't able to get there in the 2 weeks. And, you know, you feel like, man, like maybe who knows? But it's stuff like that. Just to be able to have a little bit more compassion, the same way that customers want us to have compassion for them on social media about their job, their children, their promotions, when they get married, all the things that they want us to support them for. Our baby, our business is something that we won't support. Not saying that every thought toward my business has to be good and you have to be fake and hype me up. I didn't say that. But just be humble and be compassionate, because there are things that you want people to support as well.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. One piece of advice I would give anybody that's going to post a critique online to make sure it doesn't go into criticism is to make sure that you at least get a business owner a chance to fix it. Hello, hey, can I speak to the manager? Y'all had me waiting outside for night. I remember one time, I'll say this before we close out. One time I went to this restaurant with my mom's friend. I'm not going to name you out, but you know exactly who you are. We went to Mug Shots. We probably waited outside for, I think we had got there, and you know, they give you the buzzers, right?
Right.
Well, they didn't buzz us. And we might have been waiting for like 15, 20 minutes, right? Well, another party walked up with her baby, and we were probably waiting like 5 minutes before we went back in. And they said, oh, we thought we buzzed you. We thought you were with another group. This lady sat down at this table, asked for the manager, and told them we was waiting outside 35 minutes with this baby. And he gave us free appetizers and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, we need, man, listen.
Y'all, she was like, I couldn't believe when she was like, I need to speak to the manager. She was like, the service was piss poor. She started naming. I was so embarrassed, y'all. I just had to look my head down because she was lying. But she did at least give them a chance to correct it. I'm not saying go out and lie. That's not what I'm saying. But at least give the people opportunity to correct it, because we were waiting. They did skip our buzzer. It was other people coming before us. Now, when we waiting outside for 35 minutes with in the heat with a child, no, but we were waiting 20 minutes in the heat. You know, it was a different experience, but she definitely did call, you know, the manager. But I will never forget that. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. And my last closing remark, always, when you raise the barrier of entry, you force the standard to rise. You know, speaking to Simone, if you're listening, I can see that you are a great business owner, that you are a great entrepreneur, a great chef. You have great reviews, and a lot of people still patronize and support your business, especially on the weekends and brunch. My mom loves it. I have to get down there and try the salmon and grits. I would love to go. I think I'm gonna try to go this Sunday, but we support you here at Ashanti After 9. I was so upset to read some of those horrible things that people were saying about your business, but I was very impressed with your response. I think it was very, very well thought out, and even though in the midst of what seems like a storm, I think that you really prevailed with how you responded to the backlash that you got. So if you're listening, make sure you go and support Simone's Kitchen. They are always popping and they're growing. So please give them grace and opportunity to grow to be the 5-star Michelin star restaurant that it will be.
I guarantee that wasn't her first thought. But I'm going to tell you, as you continue to rise as a business owner, you have to have a PR team. You have to have somebody like me, where I've had to go to city council and I've had to go on social media and, you know, make videos and things like that to speak on behalf of the business owner, because some of these business owners be very upset. They be very upset. They have to hire people like me to be able to speak on their behalf. So big shout out to Simone. That was a wonderful statement. Don't expect it to get it out of everybody.
I know, because she really, really did a good one with that.
People that's willing to crash out, you know, man.
All right, well, we are done. Thank you guys for tuning in to Ashanti After 9. And this is our segment called Make It Make Sense. This was episode 1. It was a great partnership with J.E. and the JE Show. And I hope to see you guys soon. Peace. Click end stream. Sorry, y'all, we got a little technical difficulties. There you go.